Welcome back. This is Tabletop Templar, and this is part two of the Waterloo 1815 scenario, the 100 Days campaign. We're picking up right where we left off with the Battle of Waterloo. So the first video, if you haven't seen it, it shows all of the moves up until then, and this is going to begin right here with the battle. So if you haven't seen the first video, check out the first video, so that way you're brought up to speed. And here it is. Here's the Battle of Waterloo. We're going to begin. So just to recap, we've got 10 French strength points. Napoleon and Wellington are still on the map, so that's why Ney and Brunswick are here. But they're both in the battle, don't worry. But they cancel each other out. They're both threes. So I just know they're canceled out. But there's 10 French, and there is 10 English, but then there's 6 Dutch and 1 Brunswick force as well. So it's 10 against 17 to start this first round. But if you watch the first video, you'll see all of the other other armies that can join this one surrounding it. So we're going to do that. We're going to do the first round of the battle. So it is 10 against 17. So we're going to look at the combat results table, and so I did the math, and it's going to come into 1.7, which is going to be in the results table. It's going to be a 3-2 in favor. The larger force is going to be the English force, or the Anglo Dutch force, I should say. So here we go. It's not going to be great. Both leaders are 3. They cancel each other out. This is a huge risk, actually. Now that I think about this, because if Napoleon's force gets demoralized, then their morale would go permanently down by 1. So, oh yeah, we have to calculate morale. So, so 2, 3, 4 at 3 morale, 6 at 2 morale. So the morale is going to be 2 for the French. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at 2 morale. 1, 2, yeah, this is okay. So this is going to be 2 against 2 morale. So that's going to cancel each other out. So that's how it works. And the leaders will cancel each other out. And I forgot to check for the terrain. So I double checked the terrain, and it's there's no terrain modifier for that. It's empty. It's a plain field. It's not crossing anything. So we're gonna roll the dice. I don't think there's anything else to check. Leaders, morale, terrain effects. Not doing tactical matrix. So okay. Just roll the dice. See what happens. And we'll put them back. So 10. And the English are the larger force, so we're doing 3-2 odds. At 10 is larger force. Yeah, 3-2. Larger force loses 1. Smaller force is D2. Oh gosh, that couldn't have gone worse. Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, that was horrible for Napoleon. I think that's going to be a defeat. So a 10, there's no modifiers. So yeah, larger force loses 1. And then D2, they're demoralized 2. And so now we do losses. Wow, that's a pretty bad one. Okay, combat loss chart is going to be here. Total strength points. So we're going to the English. We'll do the English one first. They have 17, so they're going to lose 2 because their result was 1, and so they have 17 strength points total, and so they're going to lose 2 units. A D2, which is the same as a D3, they had 10. They're going to lose 3 troops. That demoralization is killer. So according to the rules, during any combat phase, if a force containing Napoleon is demoralized, the basic morale of all French regular infantry and cav is permanently reduced to 1. So it's just the regular ones. So the English are going to lose 2. They have to lose it from the force that if you lose at least half from. So yeah, it's half. So as long as you satisfy that, then it should work. So the English have to lose 2, so they're going to lose. But wait, the Landwehr. That was 2. Yeah, I did make a mistake. Well, it doesn't really matter. It won't affect the game, but I did make a mistake in that this Landwehr should not have been included with the same, but it still makes the 2 morale the majority. 5, 6. This is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this is morale of 0. The 8, they still outnumber the rest, so it doesn't affect the results. I just realized that. I'm like, oh no, there might have been a modifier. No, it doesn't matter. And 2, 3, 4 of 3 morale against the 6, so that doesn't affect it either. So the results are still the same. So the English have to lose 2. Half of it has to be of this color. So I think they're going to lose one of their. I'll do that change. One of them and the Brunswicker, or maybe the Landwehr. Probably the Landwehr. I'll take one of the Landwehr. There, we'll flip them over. One of them's gone, and then I'll remove one of them. The French have to lose 3, and we'll swap him out for a 2. Oh, perfect, right there. We'll flip that over there. And that's it. That's the first round of combat. The end of and then now we go to the second round of combat. And now we can try to bring troops into the battle. So I'm going to try to do this in the right order. So roll 2 dice, consult, active player may withdraw. So actually, the morale of this army is 1. They have a D2 modifier. They have to withdraw. So I think this is going to be a loss for Napoleon. So let me bring this back up. So just look at the situation. That might have been a mistake of attacking Wellington head on like this. I could bring more troops. Well, actually, I can't because the battle's over. Napoleon has to withdraw. All French regular troops and cav are going to have a permanent -1. That was a horrible roll. Rolling the double fives and just looking at the results table for that 3-2. I mean, even just anything else. I mean, an 8, they would have still lost 1, but that's just 1. That's not a big deal. The morale loss it was killer. And I mean, a 9, they would have only lost 1, but that would still have been bad. Really, an 8 or less would have been ideal, and even some of these would have been not too shabby. Um, trading 1 for 1, that would have been big. A 7, a 6, 5. Sevens are probability wise, it's the most common to roll, and that would have traded 1 for 1, and then that would have given the French another round to try to bring in these other armies. Of course, there's 10 troops for Blucher, but I can't. There's more than 10 amongst these other 3. See, Davout's got this force here. He's got 4 from Paris, plus 5 that Jerome has. That's 9 right here. Soult has 4 cavalry right here. That's 13 total. And there's an additional 4 here. That's 17 total troops that could be committed, that could be joined this battle to the 10 Prussians. So let me double check and make sure. I think all the Prussians are Blucher. Yeah. Well, actually, it's more than 10. There's 17, not 10. 17, but quite a few of those Prussians are Landwehr. Yeah, there's a lot of regular infantry, but there's quite a few Landwehr. I mean, it would have been close. This is a close battle. I'm not sure if the move is to try to fight Blucher first. Historically, that's what they did. They try to knock him out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you don't get the roll, if you don't get that forced march roll, then I guess that's the play, isn't it? I guess that's what you should do. You should try to attack Blucher first, try to get that additional point, move it there, fight Blucher first, and then fight fight Wellington then the following turn, or the same turn. I don't know, but then yeah, I don't know. I think maybe if I run this again, that might be what I should do. So, well, I think I'm gonna call it there. I'm so sorry if this was really not a very exciting video. Um, but I think that you can see how difficult this scenario is. And I guess I thought that this might be a little bit more fun. I might try to set this up and do it again, but this is actually a really tricky one because if you don't, because I guess you could just hang out by Paris, but I feel like it's really designed, or at least supposed to be designed to recreate history. And so but it's all based on that role. I don't like that. I feel like there should be an exception. Napoleon should be able to move without having to force march and get that. I feel like it's so tough as it is, and I feel like that should be the change of this scenario, is to allow Napoleon. Now you don't want him to be able to run because he gets 12 movement points normally. I understand you don't want him to like run all the way up to Antwerp or something. You want him to go here, But honestly, why not just have them start there? You know, the whole two movement points from Paris. Why not just stick them here and then have everyone else try to reinforce them? But I guess if you want to give players maybe the designer originally wanted to give players an opportunity to try a different strategy that doesn't involve Waterloo. And so by sticking him here, it would kind of forces him to do that. And if you lose right away, then you're kind of done. So, but I feel like the snare is like that anyway. So anyway, not sure what I think of this. It's definitely a poor result, a die roll. Um, I guess what I could do is I could say this. I could roll the dice again and see what happens. Um, but I don't know. I feel like I'd rather maybe go on to a different scenario. I think this is a interesting scenario, but if I were to play this, I would not. I would. This is definitely a solo scenario. I mean, you could play with two people at most, but I don't think this is a very fun one to try out. This is kind of a solo one to try and see what you can do, see what you can do differently. Um, so, but yeah, but even if you win this, this is you still have all these Austrians. You know, we'll move this back. You still got all these other forces to deal with, and then you've got these giant Russian stacks, and everyone's going to get reinforcements every turn. This isn't going to end, and I'm not really sure what the play is after that. But anyway, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed the this two-part Waterloo scenario. I'll try to do a different one. I think I made a mistake. I don't know. I think I might try a different one. This one didn't turn out to be as fun, so hopefully everyone enjoyed this no matter what. And but I would say that if you're gonna play with someone else, do not play this scenario. Play this one solo when you're on your own time. Try a different scenario to play with someone else. Even though the Waterloo campaign might be kind of fun, if I were to house rule it, I would just allow Napoleon to be there. I mean, don't and be able to attack Blucher, and then maybe have everyone else have to force march. I would say that it would give them at least that opportunity, because if you don't get it, then it can be real. Then the Allies are going to activate and pounce on Napoleon. He needs that ability to have that first strike. I think you can grant Napoleon that, grant the French that. This is already in a tough scenario. At least give the French that opportunity to launch that first strike. You know, I think that's only fair. And then after that, let it play out however it plays out. So that's my opinion. If I were to do it, I would allow Napoleon's army to go there instead of two hexes from Paris. I would allow them just to go right there. That way you don't have to die roll for everything else, and then have everyone else force march to try to get to them. So that's my opinion. Um, Let me know if you agree, you disagree. Have you played? Anyone else played this scenario? How did it turn out? And let me know what scenario in the book you want me to try and play next. If there's anything you want me to try to play, there's the scenarios are. Well, I've already played the first one. So, do you want me to do the Egyptian campaign, Marengo, Austerlitz, the 1806 1807 campaign, Wagram, the Russian campaign? That's probably a long one. Struggle of Nations, Napoleon at Bay. I already did. We just did Waterloo, the Peninsular War, and Spain, or the Final Glory. So let me know what you want me to play next, and I will read the comments, and I will whichever one is the most, I will play that scenario next. That's only fair, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll catch everyone later.